It's great to have you with us for today's news brief. To lead off our broadcast, let's review the international stories currently dominating global headlines.
Event number 1. President Zelensky said Ukraine stopped a major Russian attack thanks to UAVs. Event number 2. Iran warns of targeting U.S. aircraft carrier in Red Sea after airstrikes. Event number 3. The U.S. and South Korean troops held a river crossing exercise during the Freedom Shield operation. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky announced that his army has crushed a major offensive Russia was preparing for the spring. In an interview with CNN on Sunday, Zelensky revealed that Russia had prepared a new large-scale offensive campaign and had wanted to start it late last year. "We began the campaign at the end of the year and regained control over 434 kilometers, which was a success," Zelensky said. He attributed the army's success largely to tactics involving drones. Zelensky said, "These steps were very successful, not just in terms of battlefield advances, but also in drone tactics, our drone projects, and operational campaigns." Quote, he explained that Russia began losing 30,000 to 35,000 personnel per month due to the impact of various drones, including FPV and other types deployed by the Ukrainian military on the battlefield. Those were not long-range airstrikes. It was all thanks to our forces, our army. He asserted that Russian President Vladimir Putin never intended to stop the war in Ukraine, despite participating in U.S.-brokered peace talks. Putin never wanted to end the war. They were afraid of President Trump's moves and pressure from the United States. Quote, "That's why he's putting on this act of wanting to negotiate." Zelensky said, "He just wants to issue ultimatums forcing us to withdraw from our territory, but he won't stop there. No, that's not enough for him." Referring to the ongoing conflict between Iran and the U.S.-Israeli coalition, Zelensky suggested that this situation helps Putin make more money, as new sanctions policies also personally benefit the Russian leader. Zelensky stated that Russia is assisting Iran by sharing information and intelligence with Tehran. He also mentioned peace negotiations with Russia. "We are now asking our American partners to set a date for a trilateral meeting. We have always supported this format, supported President Trump and his team. But if we truly want to stop the war, we need to meet. The tactical groups need to convene," Zelensky continued. Meanwhile, the Ukrainian leader said that according to Ukrainian intelligence, a combination of sanctions from the U.S. and the European Union, along with Ukraine's long-range strikes on Russian energy facilities, has caused Russia to face a budget deficit exceeding $100 billion for 2026 alone. At the same time, it was reported that Russia earned about $10 billion in just 2 weeks of conflict in the Middle East. This is very concerning, as it seems to be giving Putin more confidence to continue the war. Iranian Red Crescent workers searched for survivors after an airstrike hit a building on Monday in Tehran. According to the Associated Press, Iranian media reported that U.S. and Israeli airstrikes had targeted Shohada Square and Peruzi Street in the eastern part of the capital earlier that day. The incident occurred as the country's Joint Military Command threatened to attack logistical and support facilities for the U.S. aircraft carrier Gerald Ford in the Red Sea. Ibrahim Zolfaghari, a spokesman for the Khatam al-Anbiya Central Headquarters, Iran's Joint Military Command, said the aircraft carrier's presence is considered a threat to Iran. He said, "Therefore, logistical and support facilities for the aforementioned naval strike group in the Red Sea will be considered attack targets by the Iranian armed forces." Quote, in another development, U.S. President Donald Trump said he had asked about 7 countries to send warships to keep the Strait of Hormuz open, as Iranian attacks continued to rain down on Gulf nations on Monday. Since the U.S. and Israel attacked Iran more than 2 weeks ago, Tehran has frequently launched drones and missiles at Israel, U.S. bases in the region, and the energy infrastructure of Gulf Arab nations. South Korean and U.S. troops on Saturday held a joint exercise at a river in Yeoncheon, north of the South Korean capital, as part of the annual Freedom Shield combined exercise. According to the Associated Press, the drill involved South Korean and U.S. military personnel practicing river crossings, moving equipment across the river using a temporary bridge system. "Our alliance's training is what makes the difference. That is the asymmetric advantage we have across the Indo-Pacific region," said General Xavier Brunson, commander of U.S. Forces Korea. Soldiers from the South Korean Army's 7th Engineer Brigade and the U.S. 2nd Infantry Division, as well as the ROK U.S. Combined Division, participated in the drills. Military officials said the goal was to enhance joint amphibious operational capabilities and interoperability. The 11-day Freedom Shield exercise, which runs through March 19th, is one of 2 annual command post exercises conducted by the U.S. and South Korean militaries. The drills are largely computer simulated, designed to test the allies' joint operational capabilities while incorporating evolving war scenarios and security challenges. Accompanying Freedom Shield will be a field training program called Warrior Shield. The Allies' joint exercise comes amid speculation in South Korean media that Washington is moving some assets from South Korea to support the fight against Iran. U.S. Forces Korea said last week it would not comment on specific military asset movements for security reasons. South Korean officials also declined to comment on reports that some U.S. Patriot anti-missile systems and other equipment are being moved to the Middle East, but they maintained it would not significantly impact the alliance's joint defense posture.